This is my first segment that I'm covering on my channel, and basically I'll just go ahead and jump straight into it. So, as I said in the intro video about a week or so ago, I'm going to be covering stories that, aren't reported as much as they really should be in the media, and even if they are, they're not covered the same way that I think that I would cover them. So let me go ahead and cover the first topic right now, and that is President Obama has authorized a 30-day mission for the United States military to conduct airstrikes against the Islamic State in Libya. New strikes were unleashed Tuesday. Marine Corps Harrier jets launched from the Navy amphibious assault ship USS Wasp conducted at least 2 airstrikes against ISIS targets in the coastal city of Sirte Tuesday. I might be screwing up that pronunciation there. USS Wasp is set to remain off the Libyan coast in the Mediterranean for the next month, along with an escort ship, the guided missile destroyer USS Carney. The U.S. has launched at least 7 airstrikes in total since the campaign began Monday. So, what do I have to say about this? So, let's get something straight. As you saw at the Democratic National Convention, you actually had a lot more of what people would claim to be patriotism. There was a lot more, talk of USA. There was a lot of USA chants, a lot of stuff going on military chants, riling people up, and you didn't see that as much as the Republican National Convention. My point in saying that before I tell you my thought on this is what we have seen in the past 8 years by President Obama and the Democratic Party is the Democratic Party proclaims, and they were supposed to be, hey, we're going to get out of Iraq, we're going to be completely, against, interventionist wars. That isn't exactly what happened. They pulled out of Iraq. However, as we have seen, they have done tons of airstrikes, an insane amount of drone strikes from President Obama, which, by the way, 90% have been a failure rate, which show that he has completely been a failure on the issue of foreign policy. We've stayed in Afghanistan. He's tried to, say, oh, I'm going to bring more troops out. He's kept 10,000 there. I think he's still keeping around like 8,000 or 9,000 there. And it's just, he has the idea that this is going to help us out. This is going to help get rid of ISIS and the terrorist groups over in the Middle East. And it's just not true. In fact, my argument on this is when you go over and, for example, let's take patriotism as a true example. When the American flag gets burned here, people want to jump out of their seats and just go straight away and fight and say, hey, what are you doing burning the American flag? That you're completely anti-patriotism, you're anti-American. Well, how do you think people over in foreign lands over in the Middle East feel when their child or a family member gets droned by a U.S. drone strike? They're not going to feel that happy by us. So look, the thing is, we're not the only ones that are guilty, but the fact that we claim to be the ones leading the charge shows that when we try to end terrorism, we only increase it. Because those families of the ones who die by the terrorism, or by the terrorism that we cause, yes, that is a correct word, and the drone strikes that we have done, what that actually ends up doing is it angers those families, it angers the members of those families. Those family members most likely end up becoming radicalized because they want to fight back against us for what we have done to their families and, quote, the Holy Land. So the right thing to do if we truly want to stop terrorism is get the heck out. Under Obama and Bush, we have seen more terrorist attacks happen in this country and around the world than ever before. And why is that? Because we have intervened more. We have gone over and tried to go. We've gone over in Iraq, which was a war that we shouldn't have started anyways because it was with a country that didn't even attack us on 9/11. In fact, who did attack us, those people were Saudis, who we are in bed with because we care so much about oil, and we are still allies with them, and we know now that they were Saudis on 9/11, the people who did the terrorist attacks and hijacked. So the United States government is truly failing at the issue of terrorism. The right way to do this is if we pull out of interventionist wars and we only go in and do something with our military if we are attacked first. That is the problem with having a candidate of Hillary Clinton and a candidate of Donald Trump. They are both hawks. They are both going to continue these wars, if not make things worse. Hillary in Libya, she did a horrible in Libya. She What she did when she was Secretary of State has helped expand the role of ISIS in the world. Same with President Obama. And if you think the Democrats are an anti-war party, then you are sadly mistaken. Something needs to be done about this, and that is why the only way I see there actually being change on this issue is if a third party does get in and we have a person like Jill Stein or Gary Johnson. They will end these wars once and for all, and it will be a good thing. We won't have drone strikes anymore. We won't have airstrikes, and finally, we might actually be moving towards the right place on Earth, which is peace. Like I was saying, the point I'm trying to make is the fact that do we get the targets that we intend to get when it comes to like ISIS? Yes, but we also get a good amount of innocent civilians. And like I was saying, the families of those innocent civilians that we killed are only going to become radicalized, and that is what increases terror in the world. It starts with the United States, and then it increases from them. Yes, is it because of the religion? Yes, is it because of what is going on with the amount of fundamentalist Muslim culture over there in the Middle East? Yes, but we cannot excuse the United States' role in what we do to increase terrorism around the world.